Hello there. I want to talk about a group of Christian content creators that really just kind of get on my nerves. And again, call me a hater if you want to. You may be right, but these people get on my nerves. And it's all these people that talk about note taking, if you know what I mean. They take really copious notes in their Bible, which is fine. That's their business. I don't care. But it is bizarre to me, just like all these notes that they take. And the note taking is almost like scrapbooking. And so they call it Bible study, but it's really like arts and crafts. And again, if they want to do that to their Bible, that's their business. I don't really um, see a problem with it if that's what they want to do. But I mean, there is an entire YouTube rabbit hole you can fall down, and it's really just like scrapbooking. Like, they're not even talking really about what they learned from the Bible. They're just talking about, how they take notes, and they talk about special highlighters they use, and special um, like post-it notes and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, listen, like, you really just like scrapbooking, and you really just um like office supplies, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, when are you going to get to the Bible study? And there's this one thing where they call it the quote loaded Bible. Like, you can look it up for yourselves. And again, I mean, it's scrapbooking. They have their Bible, and they like add pages to it, and they put pictures in it, and stuff like that. And I mean, that's fine, but they go through all of it, and it's just like, you haven't talked about scripture at all. You've talked about, special adhesives and markers, and, things like that. They talk about bags. Oh, this is my Bible bag, and this is my prayer bag, and this is my prayer closet, and how I decorated it. And I'm just like, my gosh, like, this whole like uh, they've turned everything into an aesthetic. And in a lot of these videos, there's some sort of link in the bio, to buy certain products. And I'm like, my gosh, people, like, this all is not necessary. There's not a problem in and of itself with what they're doing, but it's just like having these like Christian commercials about like products you need for prayer. It's just like, there's got to be something wrong with it. There does. So, yeah, I just want to talk about that. Call me a hater if you want to, but that's how I feel. And if you want to scrapbook, go ahead and scrapbook to your heart's content. If you enjoy office supplies, I mean, half at it. I do too. But just the way they take those notes is ridiculous. And there is this one lady, uh, she's a content creator. She calls herself Bible Nerd, and she has a lot of content about taking notes in her Bible. But she was a seminary student, so I feel like she probably studies the Bible, in a much different way than a lot of us do. And she probably did it in a very in depth fashion. And I just kind of wonder, what are people getting out of all of these notes? And this is kind of what I'm getting at. Like, YouTube is not seminary school. So when you're talking about YouTube, you're probably getting in front of a lot of people who, you know, may not have studied the Bible, may not have, studied it a great deal. And so all I'm saying is, this is my whole point. This is my point. You don't need all of that in order to study the Bible. That's what I'm trying to get at. You do not need a special marker set from Japan to study the Bible. You do not need a furry rug and, a bookshelf in a closet, to have a quote prayer closet. And it concerns me that someone may think that they need all of that. You don't need post-it notes and all that stuff. And furthermore, and I know everyone is different, But I think that it's important just to read the Bible because you are supposed to meditate on the word, not so much like furiously taking notes so that you can then just like show it to YouTube and be like, look how holy I am. So, anyway, that's what I have to say. Again, call me a hater if you want to. Call me a hater in the comments because that would help me out in the algorithm. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. I think that I have gotten it all off of my chest about all of these ridiculous so called Bible study channels that are very much geared towards women, um, where they don't do anything except just write a bunch of notes on post-it notes and stick it in Bibles and highlight and draw pictures. And it's like if that's what someone wants to do, so be it. But you know, what you learn, what you learn, that's what they never get to. For all that scrapbooking, it's like, okay, what you learn? They never get to that point. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Thank you. Bye.